curious. Your presentation.
I would welcome you to my EIT summer school, but you've been here longer than me. So I'm delighted to be here this morning. I'm actually very excited to be involved. My name is Joao Bocas, and I run Salute and Digital Health. We are a small consulting business. We help startups in the digital health space to grow internationally and scale up. So we work with companies from Nordic markets and mainly Europe. But before I go ahead with the presentation, I would like to tell you a bit about myself. I'm born in Lisbon on 3rd of August 1974. It was actually my birthday last week. That makes me 30, thank you. Makes me 32. 74. I'm married, I have 2 kids, and I'm very passionate about keeping fit, and digital health is a very interesting industry that I really look forward to working every day. So now that you know a bit about me, let's go to the presentation. The presentation actually is called SME Insights. SME stands for Small Medium Enterprises, as you well know. Insights, because what I want to achieve today is just give you a bit of a flavor about business. Even though we're covering a lot of subjects this week, I'm not going to detail, but I want to share some experience with you. I also like to use the word startup instead of the SME, and I believe that you are very familiarized with that. Correct? Okay. Now this is a session outline. What I'm going to be covering today is some of my experiences in business. We have an activity called group discovery, because you will do a little exercise. I don't want to be standing here talking for 45 minutes, otherwise you get bored of myself and my voice. No. So some business essentials and also fun bit. Because I believe in business we have to have fun along the way. It's not Fitbit, yeah, we're talking about health and well-being, it's fun bit. Okay, I'd like to ask you about your ambition. Did anyone in here had a business in the past, or would like to have a business in the future, or plan to go to business, or open a startup? Hands up for that. Really? Wow, fantastic. Now I know that I'm amongst other aspiring entrepreneurs. I'm in the right place. So I will talk in a language that you will understand and we can connect. Really. So what's entrepreneurship? A famous entrepreneur, Richard Branson, states that if you are not making a difference to other people's lives, you shouldn't be in business. So very simply, entrepreneurship is about improving people's lives. And if we're talking about health and well-being, that applies in every sense of the word. Because when we are innovating around health and well-being, we're creating a solution or optimizing some behavior that will in turn make an impact and improve people's lives. So I really like that. Now I want to share with you some of my experiences. And this is the first half of the presentation, if you like. You know that I mentioned the word startup. Startup world. I've been involved in the startup world for quite a while now, but particularly I would like to share one experience with you. My most recent experience, not in Salute and Digital Health, the previous one. So we had, me and my business partner, we were creating this great health tech solution in digital health to improving people's lives on measuring and help them to manage long-term conditions. For one reason or another, we didn't quite launch according to plan. And I'll share with you some of our pitfalls. So hopefully, when you're going to create your amazing business in the future, you don't repeat them. And also, I truly believe that we can learn from other people's experiences in these kinds of mistakes, so you don't need to repeat them. So what happened with us was, we had this great idea around digital health. It took us quite a long time to create a product. We were building this great solution, and we, instead of building from down to top, we tried to build the other way around. We tried to build top to bottom. And what I want to say with this is, we try to create something really big and then go and see if it works. And unfortunately, it was the wrong thing to do. Because when we're talking about startups, what the majority of the startups do to start with is they create the MVP, which is the minimal viable product. They test it, or somehow bring it to market, get some insights from their potential customers, friends, and clients, and change it, reshape it, improve it, rebuild, and then build a more sophisticated solution in order to create their product. Are you with me on this? You following my... Yeah? Right. So, what happened with us was, create this great solution. It took us too long to build, and then it didn't really launch the way we expected. So, it was not a failure, but it was not a very smooth process. And I believe that success is not an event. It's actually a process. Because when we talk about business, many of us think about, I do sometimes, think about making money, achieve something quickly. And unfortunately, let me tell you from my experience, in business is not always the way. If anyone thinking about becoming a millionaire in 1 minute, maybe business is the wrong place to look to become a millionaire in 1 minute. I believe that is a process that eventually, after persevering and learning, we can achieve our goals. So I truly believe in that. And also, failure doesn't exist. Because from the experience that I just shared with you, I didn't feel like I failed. What I actually felt was, I learned something that didn't work. I gained some experience. And that experience is very, very valuable in business in general context, but also in helping other startups, perhaps sharing my experience with you. And I have some value in my pocket, if you like, from that experience. And I'm not talking about monetary value. I'm not talking about money in here. And you are students. You are learning. And experience is really, really valuable. So for example, for these 2 weeks, you have this amazing experience. Learning a lot of different things, get to work on different projects, and that's experience. No one can really take that away from you. You can share with your friends, you can share with your work partners in the future, with your co-founders for once they planning to have a startup very, very soon. that experience is very, very valuable. Failure is also just a stepping stone to success. Because when you remember the example I gave about adjusting the startup or the minimum viable product, you're going to add things or reshape, adjust, improve. I believe success is like that. You find your way through things that don't work first time. You find your way by trying things out. So I don't like the word failure. I'll prefer to call it learning, if you like. One thing that I really learned in business is alone, you're not going very far. And that's a fact. Let me tell you that. You need a team. You need people to help you. And I've been in business for quite a long time. And I've been alone. I had an experience of being alone on my own for quite a while. And I felt like I didn't feel stuck all the time, but I felt like I was just moving backs and forwards all the time. I couldn't really, because the reality is we're not good at everything, and I am certainly not. And when you're on your own, you know you're not an expert in all subjects, but you have to do everything yourself. And sometimes the reality is, if you're not good in one area, you're doing more damage than good. Because you're not very good in that area, and you still have to push yourself to cover that subject on that part of the business. So try to build a team. Use other people. The startup world is very exciting because there's always people at hand to help each other. Not necessarily charging you a value for that. You help each other in many ways. So access other startups. In here is great because you make so many friends from all over the world. You can access them. You can ask them for help. And that's a great thing. And be true to yourself. What I want to say with this is, for example, if I go back to that startup, the experience that I had. Me and my business partner, really nice guy and everything, no hard feelings, but we didn't share the same values. And I really try from the beginning to not lie to myself, but to push myself forward on something that I was not fully engaged with. So what I want to say is, I was not feeling the way I should feel to push a business forward, because we're very different. And I believe we need to be different in order to be successful, because when we're different, we just fit in a different way over different skills. But I was not true to myself because I was forcing myself to do something that it became a point I didn't want to do it anymore. So there was a conflict with me. Yeah?
How is that?
Well, I can say, for example, I am in business not just for the money. I want to make money eventually. Everybody needs money, right? And that's why you go to business, can do well in the future. But we have different values in terms of our belief system was different. Yeah, I know. I don't want to go into it, but our belief system was different. So I'll give you an example, but I must answer your question. Okay, what's your name?
Huh?
What's your name? Munju. I must answer your question, and it is not a secret. I'm an open book, if you like. So I'll give you an example. One of us was just about money. Money, 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 money. Don't matter what is in the way, we're just going to do it that way. The other one was just, no, I don't feel like that, I don't think like that.
What do you think?
I think like I want to create something that's, it's going to put my customer first. I don't want to treat people in any way to get to my goal. So my belief system is different. I want eventually to get to my goal, but not at any cost. Yeah? Did I answer the question? Did I answer your other objections? Yeah? I'm up here.
Okay, now I've got an exercise for you. I call it group discovery. This is what I would like you to do. I didn't count how many of you are there, but I would like you to get in groups of, let's say 4. So we have
Every table is a group.
every time is a group. Okay, great, fantastic. You're already in a group. This is what I would like you to do. Brainstorm amongst yourselves what's the most important thing about being an entrepreneur. It can be characteristics or skills. And then what I would like you to do, if you wish and feel comfortable with, one person from each group is going to come here and do a mini, it's not a presentation, just your most important thing from the table, you're just going to share with others. Got the idea? So for example, you say the amazing skill, management. And then you pick a leader from the group and you're going to say what's the characteristic or the skill that you felt is most important and why. Is everyone up with that? Clear? Okay, I'll give you, it's going to be a very short exercise. 4 minutes. Okay? Up to you now.
I don't know.